Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I will be cooking. I've never posted a video of me cooking on this channel before. I've only ever posted me eating. So tonight I'm making baked beans. This is the baked beans. I literally just put it on the stove, so it's not done yet. And I'm making mac and cheese. This is the noodles being boiled. If you're wondering what's in the pot, so I have water and I have some seasoning in the water. I don't boil my noodles in just plain water. And I have the noodles in there. So the seasoning that I have in the water is I have the Badia, however you pronounce this, complete seasoning in the water. And I have the Goya adobo all purpose in the water, and not too much. Um, so yes, that's what I have in the water with the noodles. And I'll come back when I start, making everything else. But I will be making chicken to go along with it. And I was thinking about making some what's that thing called? Cornbread. I'm not too sure on that yet, so we'll see if I make it or not. I'm not really sure if I want it. But my husband wants mac and cheese and baked beans. That's it. That's all. He don't want no rice, no other side items, nothing. Just mac and cheese and baked beans. So that's what I'm making tonight. So let me show you what I put in my mac and cheese every single time I make it. And my husband requests it every single time. Literally every time I make mac and cheese is because my husband requests it. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys what I add to my mac and cheese to make it so good. So I add Sazon in there, the adobo seasoning, all purpose, the paprika. I add my onion powder and my garlic powder. I add complete seasoning, and I add some slap your mama. Sometimes I add some obey. I add yellow mustard, just a little bit. Like when I say a little bit, don't overdo it. The mayo, and I add evaporated milk. I don't use the bottled whole milk. I use evaporated milk. Um, And then for the cheese, I use sharp cheddar cheese. I don't really use too much of the sharp cheddar cheese. I use some mozzarella cheese to make it, stretchy and stuff. And then the mild cheddar. That's what I add to my mac and cheese all the time. I don't add salt to my mac and cheese. Never add salt. Because with these seasonings, if you add salt and you, like my mom would say, your hand miss, your mac and cheese gonna be salty, boy. Your mac and cheese gonna be salty. So I don't add salt. Usually I rarely use salt in any of my food. And it still comes out great and tastes wonderful, at least seasoned. So salt is not a need. After you add the seasonings that I showed you, you want to go ahead and give your noodles a mix. And this is after you drain the water or some of the water from the noodles. I won't say drain all the water because this process right here, you do have to keep the noodles on the stove after you drain most of the water, but have the stove turned on low because you don't want your noodles to get cold for when you add the cold ingredients, which is the mustard and the mayo and the evaporated milk and the cheese. So go ahead, add the seasonings that I showed you to the noodles. Give it a stir. Taste your noodle. So grab one noodle out of there when you're done stirring and taste it to see if you will need any more seasonings or whatnot. Always taste your food while you're cooking it so you know the outcome will be great. So after adding your seasonings and mixing it and making sure that the noodles is seasoned to your liking, you will add a little bit of mustard. Um, just a little bit. Listen, when I say just about that much, because the mustard it gives it a, like, what is in there? Like, what is, like, that when you add something to your food and somebody else try it and they can't tell you exactly what you add, that's what that mustard does. So you add the mustard in there and you stir. I'm sorry for if the recording is like not that great. I am using one hand. I'm trying to get a tripod and stuff so these videos could be better. But I'll mix it and come back. After adding your mustard and stirring it in, you will add some mayo. I'll do like 2 spoons of mayo. And I've been making my mac and cheese like this ever since I was 7 years old. I have been cooking for a long time, so listen, I've mastered this. So you add your mayo, you stir it in. I'll be back. I'll show you what it looks like after I've stirred it in. So I'm back. After stirring it in, this is what it looks like. This is just with the mayo, the mustard. And now, don't forget, you do all this while the stove is on low, okay? You add your carnation milk in now. Add a whole can. You probably need to, depending on how many noodles you made. Add your carnation in. Okay, and then you stir it again. I'll be back. So I've added the carnation milk in. I've stirred it, and now I will transfer this into the baking pan and then add my cheese and mix it. So that way the cheese could actually get mixed in there. You get what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so the noodles is transferred to the pan, and now we go in with the cheese. And when I say go in heavy with the cheese, go in heavy with the cheese, okay? Okay, guys, so I am still adding cheese and mixing slowly. I've added sharp cheddar in here. I added mild cheddar. I've added mozzarella. Listen, listen. When I say go heavy with the cheese, go heavy with the cheese. Okay, guys, so now after stirring it, we're going to add the cheese topping. So we can bake it and for that cheese to, get nice up in there. I can't do it with. Okay, guys, so now that we are done with the mac and cheese, well, not technically done, but the mac and cheese is now in the oven being baked. We're going to move on to the chicken. We're doing the chicken last because it's not going to take long. So this is the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Right now it's in some water and vinegar. You know, you have to wash your meat with some vinegar or some lime. So right now it's in some vinegar. I'm going to wash it, rinse it off, and then cut it up into some smaller pieces and season it. So for the chicken, I'm thinking about doing some honey soy boneless chicken thighs. So we're going to wash it, season it with some garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika, and we're going to add the honey and the soy sauce, and that'll be it for our chicken. So let's do that real quick. Okay, guys, so we have our mac and cheese done, and we have our chicken cut, and I'm about to season the chicken up. So the mac and cheese, I'll let it sit, and that's why I put it in the oven first, because I know the chicken is not going to take long at all, and you do have to let your mac and cheese sit for about 10 to 15 minutes before you start cutting it and sharing it. Well, cutting it and plating it. So this is the chicken cut up, and like I said, I'll season it with some onion powder, garlic powder, and some paprika. I might add just a pinch of salt in there, and I've already mixed my honey and soy sauce, and in here is also a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder as well. So the chicken is lightly seasoned, and I did go ahead and add just a little bit of cornstarch in the chicken. So that way when I put it on the stove and a little bit of oil, it can be just a little bit crispy. Not crispy like fried, but just a little, And previously I said I might make some cornbread. I'm not making cornbread anymore. My husband is home. Everything is basically done except for the chicken, and I'm ready to serve my husband. And he don't really care for cornbread. Like, he'll eat it if I make it, but it's not something he's like, oh, where's the cornbread, you know? So cornbread will be for the next meal. Now we have our oil in our pan. The oil is hot, just a little bit of oil. And now we are going to be adding the chicken in. Ooh, Lord, I almost burnt myself. Now I'll be back because I have to, make sure it's not, the chicken isn't laying on top of each other. Chicken is slowly coming together. It has been on the stove for like 10 minutes. Soon I will drain this excess juice, which is really like the oil, and add in my soy sauce and honey mix with, like, I already told y'all what I added in there, right? So soon I'll drain this juice out and pour that over it and let it stick to the chicken and caramelize. Okay guys, so the chicken is basically done, and now I will pour my soy sauce honey in the pot. It's so hard doing this with one hand. But I'll pour it in there and give it a nice stir and coat the chicken. And I will show you guys what it looked like once it caramelizes. So as you guys can see, it is slowly caramelizing and becoming thicker, and basically coating the chicken with the sauce. And I will keep it on the stove until all this nice um, honey soy glaze sauce is basically coated on the chicken. Guys, look at that, guys. You can't tell me I didn't do my thing. See how it's coating the chicken and sticking to the chicken? Oh, listen. My husband is about to enjoy this dinner. Like, literally, before I even put the chicken on the stove, when he was coming from the gym and he was walking up the stairs, he walked in, he said, Dave, I could smell that all the way outside. I know my neighbors be wishing they could get a plate. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I give my neighbors a plate. But I like sharing food. Cooking is actually one of my love languages. I love cooking for people. But look at that, get into it. The chicken is done. I should have made some broccoli just to add some vegetable on the side. I feel like that would have went really, really, really well. But my husband barely eats broccoli, even though I love broccoli and my daughter loves broccoli. But this meal is my husband's request. So what he asks is what he gets. But look at the chicken, and it's fully cooked. That sauce, especially when it cools down a little bit, the way that sauce is about to stick, it's already stuck onto the chicken, but when it cools down, guys, but I'm about to plate this and serve it to my man. This is my husband's plate. It is plated. I am not too good at plating food. I will admit, yes, I know how to cook, but I'm not too good at plating food. Baby, is the food is only for the household, so really it doesn't matter how it's plated. Um, but the chicken, the honey soy glazed chicken, the baked beans, and the mac and cheese, the main event. Okay, look at the mac and cheese, y'all. Look at that cheese, y'all. I'm not trying to like mess with it too much because it is my husband's food. But look at that. Look at y'all, y'all, y'all. Like I said, follow this mac and cheese recipe and let me know how you guys like it. But I'm about to go serve my husband. He's going to tell me this is too much food. I already know it. I used to serve him double this plate, but he is in the gym and trying to work out and build muscle and stuff. So I know he's not going to want all this food, but he will still eat all of it because he loves my mac and cheese. This is my daughter's plate, guys. And yeah, I don't have to show you my plate because my plate is basically like my husband's plate with way less food because I do not eat a lot. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might put in a clip after of what his plate is looking like once he's done, but I don't know. I'm ready to go lay down, kick my feet up, and edit this video and get ready to post it for you guys. But this is what my daughter's plate is looking like. So this is the plate that I made for my husband. And as you can tell, it was good. It had to be good for him to clean the plate. I mean, he always eat all the food because it's always good. I've never made a bad meal, so he say. I feel like I made a bad meal before, but I don't know. Because he the type of person, if you don't like it, he's not going to eat it. But he's never not ate anything that I made. And I be telling him, like, you be trying to spare my feelings or something, but he even be telling me, like, you need to have a food truck, you need to get into looking into like having a food truck or a restaurant or just sell plates. But I don't feel like my cooking is that good for me to be doing all that. Even though I've never really had a bad review from family and neighbors, because I literally always cook for, like, I'll cook for the neighbors, the people at my church. Well, I won't really say I always cook for the people at the church, but I have made something. Um, so yeah, this is his plate. And now the video ends here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your post notifications down below. And if you tried the mac and cheese, try making it at home. Please leave a comment how you liked it.